To the third year of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. This morning, for a couple of hours, we met with several of the Bahamian businesses who we work with very closely on this game to talk about what happened in 2015 and what's upcoming in 2016 and the impacts on the island and what has happened with the bowl in the first two seasons or the first 2 years. There's a few changes to talk about. The first and foremost is the fact that our game date has changed to Friday, December 23rd at 1 p.m. at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. And we're very proud and very honored to be back in that facility once again. This afternoon we'll have folks from ESPN Events, the Bowl, government officials, and our conference partners to speak about their roles in the game and what's changed and what's upcoming and where our successes have lied in the first 2 years. So to my left, Pete Durzis, the Senior Vice President of ESPN Events. Richard Giannini, who's the Executive Director of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Hector Munoz, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for the U.S. for Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. Joy Gibralou, the Director General of the Ministry of Tourism. Dr. Danny Johnson was not able to make it, so Jeffrey Beckles, who's the General Manager of the NSA-Bahamas, will also speak on Dr. Johnson's behalf. And then our two of our three conference partners, Dr. John Steinbrecher from the Mid-American Conference and Scott Draper from the American Athletic Conference. We'll talk about their roles in the game this year. So at this time, I want to introduce Pete Durzis, Senior Vice President of ESPN Events. Pete.
Thank you, Chris. It's always a pleasure to be back in the Bahamas. The bowl game here is better because it's in the Bahamas, and we appreciate so many of our key stakeholders working so hard to create such a great opportunity for the student athletes. A little bit about ESPN Events. We are the owners and operators of 13 postseason bowl games stretching from the Bahamas to Honolulu and 11 other destinations throughout the country. In addition to that, we own and operate 3 kickoff classics as well as 10 major basketball events throughout the United States. So we're very well versed in the event management side of things, providing our company with 400 plus hours of programming, as well as working with 84 NCAA Division I schools annually, filling all of those events. So it's something we take a lot of pride in. We're especially pleased when we were able to add to our portfolio the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl last year. This is the only international destination for the student athletes of the United States to participate. It's a tremendous educational experience. Your country rolls out the red carpet, in this case the beautiful sand and water and sunshine, and provides a great educational experience for these student athletes to come to your wonderful country and get a chance to meet the people of your country and experience the warmth and the hospitality. So we're excited about being a part of it. We're excited about the relationships that have grown. The game experienced a tremendous growth between year 1 and year 2, which is what we shared with you last year at this time. Our history shows that between years 1 and 2 is the greatest growth in all of our events business. I think much of that's attributed to the meetings that Richard and Lee put on with all the key stakeholders. Everybody got on the same page. Everybody was working together to make and create a bigger and better model for the game last year, and it proved out. Ratings experienced a 34% increase just in terms of the television viewership, not to mention all of the wonderful opportunities on all the different platforms for the continued growth of this event. We're entering year 3 of a 6-year term. We're really pleased with the progress that's been made, and we certainly look forward to a long-term relationship with the people of the Bahamas, with the tourism, with the Atlantis, and so many of the key sponsors that are here today. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Next is Richard Giannini, the Executive Director of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. He and Lee Miller have been on the ground with this event since day one, and both of them have experienced and helped us with the tremendous growth of this game and what it means not only here in the Bahamas but back in the United States. And Richard will talk about what's upcoming here in 2016 and take a look back at 2015. Richard?
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate everyone being here today. And first of all, I'd like to thank our staff that works primarily on the bowl game here. And of course, Chris is our Director of Media Operations, and Lee Miller, everyone knows Lee Miller here, and Lee has really played a significant role in this game. 3 years ago, next month, was our first trip down here when we started the idea of planning a football bowl game, and I had that opportunity to come down and meet with Lee, and John Steinbrecher, who's here with us today, was the third person that was here that first year, and it's been 3 great years. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of challenges, but it's really been great. And one of the good things is to see the growth of this event. It's really gone terrific, and it's amazing that from year one to where we are today. And the people that really made that possible are here today. And I want to thank the Ministry of Tourism and Joy. We just appreciate what y'all mean to this game and the growth of the game. And of course, Hector Munoz from Popeyes has been huge for us. And last year, as many of you know, they opened a store down here, and that's been a huge hit. And we couldn't have a better title sponsor to be involved in this football game, and we really appreciate them. And then the third entity is the Atlantis Hotel. This is a terrific destination, and our student athletes and fans and staff that come down just love it. And the great thing, as Pete mentioned, this is the only international bowl game that American football plays in the NCAA, and it's a great destination, particularly for the student athletes. And while they're here on the island, they've spent time every year with the Rand Furley Children's Home, and have spent time with those children. And we've also had a clinic, a football clinic that the student athletes and coaches put on with the youth here in this country. And it's really been great to see the development of that over the years. We're excited about the date, December 23rd. The teams will get here 4 days before the game. Will arrive on December 19th. Along with their fans and coaches, and it's going to be another great week. And so we're just excited to get ready for the third Popeyes Bahamas Bowl, and appreciate people being here today. We had a great session. We had over 50 people attend that, of our partners that are here on the island with us. And as we told them that we couldn't do it without the partners that are here on this island. And the other one that is here, of course, is the stadium, and Jeff Beckles representing the NSA. They've been a terrific partner, and it's been the stadium has been a tremendous field for us to host the game, and I think he'll also tell you about some updates on the stadium that we're really happy to hear. So thank you very much.
Richard, thank you. Next up is our title sponsor, Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. They came on board with us immediately in the first year and have experienced that tremendous growth with us. They now have a store here in the Bahamas and other news to share. So with that, I'll turn to Hector Munoz. Hector?
Great. Thank you, Chris. Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces as we kick off the 2016 Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Before I start, I'd like to thank the government officials, the Ministry of Tourism, and truly just say thank you for the wonderful partnership that we currently have. ESPN Events, Pete, thank you so much for everything you've done for the game. You're a wonderful addition, and thank you for really bringing this game to the world. Lee, Richard, Chris, thank you for your leadership. Obviously could not do this game without your support. I'd also like to thank the community of Nassau for truly embracing the Popeyes brand. It's been a wonderful experience, and our franchisees back in the States truly do appreciate it. Like I said earlier today, we couldn't be more proud of the partnership and the new tradition that we've started here in the Bahamas. Bringing college football to an island, the most beautiful island in the world, is truly a special event, and we take it very, very seriously, to the point where we promote this in our restaurants aggressively, all 1,900 restaurants in the U.S. During the month of December, and sometimes we even start earlier. Last year we started in September. And these efforts over the course of the last couple of years have generated well over 8 billion impressions, not only in the U.S., but obviously here in the islands of the Bahamas. And these impressions have been generated through the merchandising efforts in the restaurant level, our packaging, our social campaign, our advertising, PR, and obviously, of course, the game. So it's something that we're very, very proud of. As Chris mentioned, I believe Richard mentioned as well, we did open our first Popeyes last year in December, and I will tell you it was a great hit, a record-setting opening. And with that said, I'm proud to announce that we will be opening our second restaurant in late October, early November in Southwest Nassau. I believe it's on Carmichael Road. So thank you to the Savosis family for their efforts. It's just been a great partnership with this organization. Not only are they wonderful franchisees and great partners, but they've also played a meaningful role in the community. They've done a number of different things. One of the things that I'd like to mention is their mission, Educate Bahamas, which is a youth literacy program that they've established, that they've obviously been fostering and supporting over the course of the last couple of years. So we couldn't be more proud of the partner and the organization that we've teamed up with here in the islands. Last year was just another great event, another great week with the two teams from Middle State, Tennessee, and obviously Western Michigan. Just a great game. Both teams brought their A game, brought great coaching, great players, and just a true game that was worth watching. I'd also like to take this time to thank John Steinbrecher from the Mid-American Conference for his continued commitment to the game, and then take this opportunity to welcome Scott Draper from the American Conference. Excited with the teams from this conference, the University of Central Florida, University of South Florida, Houston, Navy, Tulane, Temple, just to name a few of the schools. No doubt we will have yet another amazing game come this December. As you know, Chris and Richard mentioned, the game has changed. The date has changed to December 23rd. So I'm hoping this will entice more people to participate, come and watch just wonderful college football, take advantage of our Fan Fest, which we do plan to do again this year, and hopefully be able to enjoy some wonderful fried chicken. Like the last 2 years, we are committed to promoting this in our restaurants, and the efforts are actually starting to commence as we speak. We'll be starting to promote it in our restaurants for about a 4-month period, starting in September. And the plan is to just continue to generate millions or billions of additional exposure for the great Popeyes Bahamas Bowl game and for the islands of the Bahamas. We're excited for the football season to begin and really excited to kick off the 2016 Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. And Pete, you stole my line here, but I'm going to use it anyway. As they say, bowl games are better in the Bahamas. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Hector. And what Popeyes does outside the stadium with their Fan Fest, we talk a lot about here in the islands about family fun and football. They've certainly brought that. We have the game that has certainly been exciting the last 2 years, but the excitement outside the stadium for everyone who comes to our game, whether you're a local Bahamian or from the U.S. visiting, it's a tremendous event to be outside the stadium 2 hours prior to game time to see what has been put together and Popeyes has worked on to make sure that everyone's experience, regardless of how much you know about the game of football, is wonderful from the time you come to the stadium before to after the game is finished. So we appreciate their efforts, and thank you, Hector. On that theme of family fun and football, one of our great partners is the Ministry of Tourism. We work very closely with the ministry, and they help us in so many ways as they help the country in tremendous ways. And Joy Gibberlew, who's the Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, at this time I'd like her to speak on behalf of the ministry. Joy.
Thank you very much, Chris. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a pleasure to be here, and such a distinguished table for so many reasons, obviously partners. I'm just delighted and very proud that the Ministry of Tourism does have such great partners. But I should note before I give a few remarks, the Bahamians in the room will appreciate when I say the odds on this table today is not a common odd in the Bahamas to have one woman with so many men. So I'm celebrating that fact as well. Although I do believe that it puts some pressure on me to make sure that I fly the flag well for all the women present. But as has already been mentioned, our game day is Friday, the 23rd of December at 1 p.m. and not the 24th, as was the case in the first 2 years. And it will be right here in Nassau at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. You know, what comes to mind when I hear that new date is that this is going to be a great excuse for people to extend their Christmas weekend. And so I can guarantee that the turnout will be fantastic, not only because the game is now so well known in the Bahamas, but it falls on the perfect day and is a great way to launch the Christmas weekend. But the Ministry of Tourism takes great pride in its partnership with Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, chain of restaurants, as well as ESPN, and we're delighted to be hosting with them the 3rd annual Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. I'm sure that everyone will agree that the first and second edition of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl were a resounding success for all concerned. I will be honest and confess as well that I did not know the game of football until Popeyes Bahamas Bowl started, and then I had a crash course and a steep learning curve in learning it. But I think everyone will agree that the 2014 and 2015 games, the players really dazzled us with their level and quality of play. And we witnessed at the end of the inaugural game of 2014 a Hail Mary. See, I'm learning. There is definitely something very special about playing in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. So much so that it should be noted that 7 of the players who participated in the games in 2014 and 2015 were selected in the 2016 NFL Draft. Without doubt, I think that there's something more than luck going on here. Bowls really are better in the Bahamas. The bowl has been great for the islands of the Bahamas as a vacation destination. The wide coverage of the games on ESPN and the innovative advertising of the games in Popeyes franchises have created invaluable exposure for our destination. The 2016 Popeyes Bahamas Bowl is shaping up to be even more dynamic than the 2 previous editions. It will feature teams from 2 of 3 conferences involved in the bowl: the American Athletic Conference, Conference USA, and the Mid-American Conference, and we'll hear from them shortly. I can say, we all agree, that the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl is a fixture on the Bahamas Christmas calendar of events. And like celebrities, you really know a sporting event has gone big time in the hometown when it is referred to by one name only. In the Bahamas, the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl is now simply the game. And it's the only game in town. So this year, because of the long Christmas holiday weekend, as I said, and with the game taking place a day earlier, this will give Bahamians and their families more time to take a break from their traditional Christmas shopping. Furthermore, by December 23rd, we know, or certainly in the Bahamas we're hoping, that winter would have settled over much of North America, and so that football fans and everyone else will really want to take a break from the cold. So I want everyone to know that the welcome mat in the Bahamas will be rolled out and waiting. During the week of Christmas 2016, in addition to warm sunshine, which we really can pretty much guarantee, beautiful beaches and turquoise seas, visitors to the islands of the Bahamas will be in for a very special treat: great American college football. So once again, mark your calendars. Popeyes Bahamas Bowl, 23rd of December at 1 p.m. right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director General. Appreciate that. Doing double duty today because Dr. Danny Johnson was not able to be with us is Jeff Beckles, who will speak on behalf of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture, and also on behalf of NSA-Bahamas and the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. We appreciate Jeff and his staff's very hard work with us in the last 2 years to get the facility ready for football. We're very proud to play in that stadium, and we look forward to another great event in Robinson National Stadium in 2016. So with that, Jeff, I'll let you speak on behalf of the ministry and the NSA.
Thank you, Chris, and good afternoon. And what better way to demonstrate the great success that team sports can have, and being able to come off the bench today to speak on behalf of my minister and the NSA is a great privilege, and I think that's essentially why we're here. Teams function. When they function well, things go well. And so good afternoon, and welcome back to those of you who've been here before, and a very special welcome to Scott Draper, Associate Commissioner. We believe that you're going to have a fantastic time here in the Bahamas. And so on behalf of our Minister responsible for youth, sports, and culture, Dr. Daniel Johnson, let me just say that the Bahamas continues to demonstrate its commitment to growing the business of sports tourism in the Bahamas. I believe that, as he does, that our partnership with ESPN, Popeyes, and the organizers from the various conferences for Bahamas Bowl continues to provide very positive results for the country, open new conversations, new interest, new clients. As a matter of fact, you would have seen earlier in the videos that several of the young athletes who would have come to the Bahamas over the last 2 years never even thought about coming to the Bahamas. In fact, many of them didn't even know where the Bahamas was. But as a result of coming and participating, they now have found the ability to forge a new relationship with the Bahamas, which means that as they get into their family life and their professional life, the Bahamas now becomes an integral part of their life. And so this partnership is already producing tremendous results for us. We believe in our brand in the Bahamas in that it is better. And references have already been made about bowl games being better in the Bahamas, but the Bahamas Bowl is just one of many signature events that we are using to demonstrate and to live out our commitment, our new mandate, as we like to say, in that we believe that the Bahamas is well on the way to becoming the premier host destination for all things sports and entertainment. We believe in that passionately, and I believe that over these next few months, as you will see us garner our efforts, because we will be busy over these next 12 months. We're going to be hosting not only the Bahamas Bowl, but we'll be hosting the PGA, we'll be hosting the LPGA, we'll be hosting Carifta Swim, which is the regional swim championships. Next year, we're going to host the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, followed by the Commonwealth Youth Games, all within the next 10 months. I believe that this clearly demonstrates the government's commitment, the people's commitment, to really showcasing the Bahamas, not just for sunshine and sea anymore, but this new juggernaut out there called sports tourism. And I believe that we're well on our way. And so we want to encourage Bahamians everywhere. When we put our resources and time and talents to work to execute these events and formulate partnerships like this on the global stage, we're doing it for every Bahamian that's here today and the future of our country. We're also using these opportunities to showcase to our young people a glimpse of what the future can look like. We all talk about Buddy Hield or Jonquel Jones. We know that there are many more of them, our golden boys, our golden knights, our golden girls. There are many more of them that reside right here in the Bahamas. Our swimming champions like Nakia, now Christy. There are more and more Bahamians out there. And in our earlier conversations today, we are going to continue to work these partnerships and alliances to not only showcase what the future can look like, but to provide opportunities for young Bahamians to have access to collegiate scholarships where they not only can continue their education, but again, achieve their athletic objectives in life. And so we want to encourage you to come out, mark your dates. December 23rd, it's a long holiday weekend. No work till Tuesday. And so we believe it's going to be fun, and we want you to come out. Last year, we experienced a tremendous growth in attendance. We want to move from 700 to 800 last year. We want to get to 10,000 and on to 15,000. And as I said earlier in our session, I would really like to see before the end of this contractual period that we are actually having to put extra seats in the stadium. I believe that we have the capacity to grow the event to that extent, and I believe that, as we all know, once we as Bahamians put our minds to something, it will be done. And so we want to encourage you. Also want to say that from an NSA standpoint, the NSA and its team, led by Patrice Dean, our events manager, has continued to work closely with the organizers. I think we had a much improved experience last year operationally and also from a venue standpoint. We are committed to continuing that. We will be engaging this summer in the remediation of our infield. And so I think by the time December rolls around, I know that we'll have a brand new field. And so that is, again, a demonstration of our commitment to growing this partnership. And so we say thank you. We say thank you to ESPN, Popeyes, the organizers, our colleagues at the Ministry of Tourism. On behalf of our minister, Dr. Daniel Johnson, we say thank you again. We look forward to really growing not only this event, but truly making the Bahamas the destination of choice for all things sports and entertainment. Thank you again. Welcome. And we look forward to another great edition of the Bahamas Bowl here in Nassau, Bahamas.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And in a moment, you'll hear from our two conference representatives that are with us today, and Chris will introduce each. But I would like to take a moment to sort of give you a perspective in terms of one of the luxuries we have when we own and operate 13 bowl games is we work with all conference partners within all of the 10 major Division I conferences back in the United States. One of the things that we've done and we pride ourselves in doing is providing a wide range of opportunities. And so we have 3 partners as part of this bowl game. And over the course of time, each of the 3 partners will play multiple appearances in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. So today you're going to hear from both John and Scott, and Chris will introduce it. Conference USA, founding partner in the game, was unable to be here. They've had a change in personnel. But it gives us a real chance by having multiple partners to have great flexibility and to broaden the scope of the teams that participate, and at the same time provide that type of added value for not only tourism but certainly for Popeyes. So through the multiple contractual relationships we've got with all 13 of our games, it's like moving chess pieces on a board to maneuver different conferences into different games. So we're excited about the 3 partners we have here. You're going to hear from a new one at the end of the program, but let me turn it over to Chris to introduce our 2 conference representatives.
As Pete mentioned, the game the last 2 years and our conference partnerships, if you think about it for a moment, we had a tremendous game in 2014 with one of the great all-time finishes in college football history, a Hail Mary and a relay that would probably rival anything ever seen on the track at Robinson National Stadium, which was a tremendous finish. And in 2015, we came back with another great game between 2 fine universities. And in the first 2 years, we had from Conference USA, Western Kentucky University and Middle Tennessee State University. And then from the MAC, we've had Western Michigan University and Central Michigan University. And all those student athletes had the opportunity to enjoy the Bahamas, to interact with the youth of the Bahamas, and then give us some tremendous football in front of 13,000 in the stadium for both games. And so we're very proud that we have 3 conference partners, as Pete mentioned. As he also mentioned, CUSA is not here, but Dr. John Steinbrecher, the commissioner of the Mid-American Conference, will speak about his group. They are the defending champions, with Western Michigan winning the game last year. John?
It's a privilege and pleasure to be with you. And Chris is right. 2 years ago in the inaugural game, we had our heart ripped out of us when we failed to convert an extra point at the end of the game. It's much better to win the thing, I can assure you. Made the trip home much, much better. It is truly gratifying to see a dream become a reality. And when I think back to Lee and Richard and the then commissioner of Conference USA and myself coming down here, and the meetings we had and the discussions we've had, and to see where we've come in 2.5, 3 short years. It's rare that you get a chance to do something for the first time or to start something. And for us, the Mid-American Conference and our students in this bowl game, it's very often a first time in many ways for some of our kids. For many of them, it's the first time to travel outside the country. For many of them, it's the first time to come to the Bahamas. They know the Bahamas from the James Bond movies, not having been here. They get to be here and taste it and touch it and feel it. And also, the first time to be at the spectacular Atlantis Resort. And then in the case of Western Michigan University last year, it was their first ever bowl victory. And you'd have known no difference of the reaction on the field from them winning or them winning a national championship. The emotions were the same, and it truly was spectacular. Both games have been high scoring, lots of action. We seem to leave our defenses back in the States when we come here. I haven't quite figured that out, but it makes for some exciting action. And what really is powerful and important to me about this event, and as I walked in here, it really captured it. We have the beautiful flag of the island of the Bahamas, and we have the flag from the United States. And it's an opportunity to meld the cultures of our country. We talk about, as we build bowls and certify bowls, one of the things the bowls have to represent back to the bowl certification group is that they will provide a cultural experience for the people who participate in it. Now, I won't say that some places give it lip service, but here we truly, truly do that. We're bringing young men and young women to a place they've never been, to interact with a culture they've never been a part of before, to have a chance to go to the children's home and to have the youth clinic. In our post-analysis with our students, the thing they point to more often than not, even the fact they've been at this spectacular resort and all those other things, they speak to the simple fact of just interacting with the young kids here in this country. And it's meaningful and it's powerful. Thank you to the people of the Bahamas for supporting this event, to Popeyes, to the government of the Bahamas, to our participating sponsors, and to Atlantis. Thank you for what you do. We look forward to a long, long run here with this event.
Thank you, John. And now, last up, the new conference partner for 2016, along with the MAC and CUSA. A tremendous conference, a lot of bowl success, a lot of success in college football and other sports. And at this time, I want to introduce Scott Draper, who's the Associate Commissioner of the American Athletic Conference, to introduce the American to the Bahamas.
Thanks, Chris. They sent the new guy last, and that's a good thing, I guess, right? Good afternoon. My name is Scott Draper, Associate Commissioner of the American Athletic Conference, and just want to say thank you for inviting me and our conference to participate in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Let me tell you a little bit about the American Athletic Conference. It's 12 members. It's a 4-year-old league. It's morphed into the American out of a couple other leagues a few years ago. And so in that 4 years, we've had success, and we've enjoyed bowl success and on-the-field success. Our conference resides in the Northeast, in Connecticut, all the way to the Southwest in Texas and down into Florida. So our geographical footprint is a good part of the United States. We have 5 of the top 11 media markets in the United States and 9 of the top 50 media markets in the United States. So the exposure that the Bahamas, the Popeyes brand will get in our markets we think will be important to the success of this game. And so just wanted to continue to say that thank you to Popeyes for supporting the Bahamas Bowl. Your support and all of the sponsors makes this bowl experience possible. You're providing a unique and memorable experience for our student athletes in the American. And one of the guiding principles that I have for my team at the American is to create exceptional student athlete opportunities and experiences. We achieve that in many ways. Our bowl partners are certainly one of those ways. And the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl provides an exceptional student athlete opportunity and experience. So thanks to Hector and to Popeyes for their support. I don't get to do this often, so I want to do one thing, and that is to say thank you to Pete Durzis and ESPN for what they do on behalf of college football. The Bowl Enterprise, as Pete calls it, has no stronger advocate and no more passionate leader in the game. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, ESPN, for all you do for college football and what you do for the bowl games. Finally, this is my 24th year in college football. One thing I know is you can never predict what's going to happen. Last year, our league had a great season, but I know this year will present new and different challenges for our league. And what I know is that we will send a exciting, prepared, committed team to play in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl, and I look forward to that hopefully in December. And what I've learned over the last 2 days is that bowl games are better in the Bahamas. So thank you for having us, and thank you for all your support.
Scott, thank you. Everyone here at the head table will be available for one-on-ones, but we do have time for a few brief questions if anyone has any. John Mark?
Sure. What our process for selecting bowls and assigning bowl opportunities is that we place, if we're not selected to be in the group of five as the champion of the group of five into the host bowl, we would then place our champion first, giving preference to our co-champion, and then based on some criteria that our athletic directors and commissioner have set and principles that they've set aside, we would put our teams in positions to have success, in bowl games to have success, sell tickets, geographical relationships, as well as repeat partners. So there's no pecking order per se. We try to be flexible to provide the best opportunity for not only our bowl partners, but for our membership.
You know, we're going to center our number one priority is our youth football clinic, and that's the most important thing at this time as part of the bowl game. And the Commonwealth of American Football Federation is going to help provide youth here in Nassau to come to that event, and we're going to continue to try to make that bigger and better and get many more youth involved in that clinic. And secondly, we think with the exposure that we bring alive American college football, that it will certainly provide the interest for these young potential football players to become more involved, whatever opportunities are available to them on the island. And we are, to have the opportunity to have the football players from the two teams involved with these youth, I think are very important to us. And that's our primary goal right now, is to make sure that we establish that clinic, and we'll do some things moving forward with that in the future. And along with that, we invite those young men to join us at the football game, and that's where we're going to center our focus right now on in the future.
All right. Go ahead, John Mark.
I hope so. I graduated from Eastern Michigan, so yes, John, are we going to be in the bowl game this year?
It will be interesting to see if we send someone who's not in the state of Michigan. One of these days, I'm sure we will.
Nikia.
I can speak on behalf of the American. We haven't met with our players yet, but we had our spring meeting with our coaches a couple weeks ago, and this is our first year in the Bahamas, and So I review all of the bowl games and our bowl tie-ins, and everybody's excited. And a couple guys grabbed me afterwards and said, "Hey, Scott, make sure I get to the Bahamas this year." So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement in our league and amongst our coaches for sure.
One of the things from an administrative standpoint that is a challenge for us is passports. And when you don't know who's coming, what team, 3 weeks before the game makes it an issue. And there's so many of the teams from these conferences that want to participate. Many of them are going ahead and getting their passport work done early. And I had one team already contact me and said, we got all our passports in order. We're ready to come. So it's happening, and they're all doing that part. So we know we'll get them involved.
We want to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing everyone for Family Fun and Football on December 23rd at 1 o'clock at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium to prove once again why bowl games are better in the Bahamas. Thanks, everyone.